Speaking of pro sports, we're pleased to have with us as our guest Tom Marino, Worcester 78s, the founder and CEO, a basketball team that's been on the scene now for a couple of years, right,
Yeah,
Tom?
we played last year. It's been a very long time since I have produced a live event, since I was 18 or 19 years old, which is unfortunately a long time ago. And so I took last season to do a very small season. We played at the Boys and Girls Club, which is the best charity in our city. But it was a small venue to really get our bearings as an organization to put on the type of events we want to put on this year.
So let's start with basketball.
Yes.
You're part of a league, kind of a iconic, legendary league called the American Basketball Association?
Correct. For those that don't know, the league was absorbed by the NBA in 1976, had a slew of amazing players, including Dr. J, which everybody knows. It came back in 2000 as a developmental league to prepare, as a means for players to prepare for the next level, either in Europe or G League, etc.
Yeah. And the name, Worcester 78s, people may not remember. They're people probably not born.
I know, it's made me realize that I'm old.
Yeah.
I thought, it's a reference to the Blizzard of '78, which a lot of people have not. I thought was obvious, but dating myself.
Well, and so tell us a little bit about the league. How many teams? How many games?
So we're playing a 20-game season. There's over 100 teams nationwide, in between small and large markets. We're playing 20 games, 10 at home. We're playing at Worcester State University's 2-year-old gym, which is an amazing facility.
Yeah. We in my previous role helped worked with the legislature and some of the local Worcester State leaders and alums to help get that money. So it's a phenomenal facility, a new fitness center, which includes a state-of-the-art gym, some academic space for some of the, I believe, health and allied sciences.
Yes.
A great building, but a phenomenal gym, and that's the new home for the Worcester 78s.
Yeah, it's got seats 1,500 and it has an elevated track, which gives it which can be used as standing room. So it kind of gives it a layered feel to the crowd. It's an interesting building and a beautiful building.
So what's it been like getting a kind of pro team operation up and running?
Challenging.
Yeah.
I'm a regular working class guy. I didn't come to this business as some people do, in the way that they've been able to monetize it. So we're building something out of nothing with a really small team.
Yeah.
But it keeps us close to the community. All of our players, except for 2, are from Massachusetts, and one's from Rhode Island, one's from New Hampshire. So we're taking local players competing on a national level.
We were chatting before we came on live here with our next guest, John Tobin, about Bob Cousy. But I think he's emblematic of kind of a great basketball tradition that exists here in central Massachusetts. It's a sports crazed area.
Absolutely.
And basketball's got some deep roots and some great traditions, and you're looking to build on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been since before we played our first game last November. It had been 28 years since the city had seen a professional basketball game, or home professional team.
Yeah, and that's a great point. It's not new. There was the Continental Basketball League. We had the Bay State Bombardiers that played here, right?
Yep.
Always, with a great show, great game, some great players that played there down at the auditorium, and they also played, I think, primarily at the auditorium. Dave Towns was a coach. And I think there might have been another team after the Bay State.
The Worcester Counts.
Worcester Counts, that's right.
Which played one season.
Yeah.
So in 3 years they had 2 teams, and then there was a 28-year gap.
Yeah. The Bombardiers had a decent run, but you're looking to beat that. So, and in that regard, in terms of some great basketball tradition, you've signed some pretty well-known local players who did very well both at the high school and collegiate level.
Yeah, recently we announced Nadir Tharp, who's a Worcester guy, grew up here.
Right, St. Peter's, right?
Went to St. Peter's for 2 years, then went to Brewster, which has an incredible tradition of basketball players. He played 3 years at Kansas, went to the D League, then the D League, now the G League. So he's been as close as you can get to the big stage.
And that D League, G League that you referred to as the NBA's changed it, that's the National Basketball Association's primary developmental league, correct?
Yeah, it's their feeder system. Yeah.
Right. And so there's even movement from G League and ABA, some guys going back and forth.
Right now, the system seems to be ABA to Europe,
Yeah.
and then Europe is the kind of the gateway to the G League. Our league's hoping to change that over the next few years.
Got it. And what was the reason they changed from D to G?
They got a sponsor that starts with G.
Oh, Gatorade? There you go. And I'm sure you're looking for some sponsors and supporters as well.
Yeah, we've faced some obstacles. Obviously our reach isn't as large as some of our local competitors, who also do a great job. I have a marketing background, run a marketing company as well. It's supposed to be my full-time job.
Right.
This has quickly dominated my life, which is great. It's a lot of fun. So we have to be able to prove that we can develop campaigns around our sponsors that work.
Right. And so the 20 games, 10 home games, maybe you could, great family event, great basketball, great facility, ease of parking at Worcester State. Maybe you could tell us, and the viewers, if they're interested in the game, how they, when they start, and how they can learn more.
Yeah, we start a week from Saturday on November 10th. It's at 7 o'clock at Worcester State. There is plenty of free parking. Our admission's $10, so it will actually cost you $10 to go to the game.
Yeah.
It's a facility that every time I walk into it, I'm pretty amazed that it's there. I went to school there now a long time ago, and that facility certainly wasn't there.
Right.
So, we're putting on the show. We've brought in some people this year specifically that have a lot of experience producing sports events, in areas that I'm not very experienced in. So we'll have a different type of event than we had if you'd seen us last year.
Yeah. And your coaching and staff, maybe a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. This I tell him all the time, this thing would not exist without him. Our coach is Anthony Leonelli. He at one time coached at WPI as an assistant. Mm-hmm. He's also been at Wentworth and Rhode Island College. Had a head coaching stint in Vermont. I was fortunate enough when I always say I don't know a whole lot about this now. Yeah. But about basketball at least. I was fortunate enough to trip upon him last year. He's always been focused on recruiting, and deserves all the credit for our roster, which is very deep.
Right, and it's a kind of, you mentioned this number, 100 teams plus around the country,
nationwide.
But in terms of the games you play, around New England, Northeast?
Yeah, there's a few teams in the New York City area. Yeah. There's a team in Boston. And some upstate teams. Right. And a team in New Jersey who beat us in the playoffs last year by a point.
Yeah. And so you mentioned, a Worcester State grad, have a marketing company, basketball. I mean, what motivated you to kind of start this? I mean, one of the things that we're excited about is, as I mentioned, the region is I think, very sports crazed in a good way. We've got pro hockey, we've got pro baseball, collegiate baseball, pro baseball on the horizon, pro basketball. I mean, it's a lot. A women's soccer team now, a women's pro hockey team. There's a lot happening. What motivated you to kind of say, I want to put basketball in the mix?
This was not on my radar. I was helping a person a few years ago, now 3 years ago. 2 full seasons ago. This is the 3rd year since that. I was involved in his team. He decided not to continue with his team. Opened up the opportunity for me to build a team here in the market. Mm-hmm. So I came to it as offering to help, and I always say I inherited a basketball team.
Got it. And a good run last year, 13-4.
Yeah,
we're going to build upon that.
Yeah, we had the league's leading scorer last year, who's back. Tony Gallows from Lynn, Massachusetts, played at Coppin State, which is a very good basketball school. He's an incredible scorer. Adding a player like Nadir alongside him in our backcourt's great. We also added Mo Horton, who was, I would say, probably the best player at Worcester State in the last 30 years. Was also
great player Burncoat, right?
Great player Burncoat. Some would say he rather single-handedly took UCC to the national finals. He's an incredible player.
So Nadir Tharp, Mo Horton, you mentioned
Tony
Gallo. So looking to build on the momentum of last year, 13-4, getting to the playoffs again. First home game, November 10th, Worcester State.
Absolutely.
Saturday, 7 p.m.
Absolutely.
And website, people want to get tickets?
Yeah, tickets are available on our website, Worcester78s.com.
Worcester78s.com, okay. Well, Tom, look forward to having you back and talking about the season. Look forward to, and thank you for a new member of the Chamber and working with Discover Central Mass as we kind of get the word out about reasons for people to come into the city and things that people can do. Clearly, sports and family-friendly events are a big part of that. So congratulations on what you're doing in season number 2.
Thank you very much. And with our game, you're very close to the game. It should be exciting.